following the recent xenophobic attacks in South Africa, 3 countries have pulled out from this year's WEF Africa event, and that's the Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda, and Malawi, who have withdrawn from this year's meetings. Also, there are reports that protesters are outside the venue of the ongoing forum in Cape Town. But in spite of all this, what are we to expect from the 28th edition of the World Economic Forum on Africa? A South African economist, Trinity Nkube, joins us now to share his views. Thanks for joining us on the program, Mr. Nkube.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Good afternoon. Now, what do you think about South Africa hosting the World Economic Forum for Africa in the midst of all the attacks happening at this time? There are also reports of protests at the venue of the forum in Cape Town. Are you hopeful of a successful conference despite these controversies?
Yes, it's uncalled for. These attacks on foreign nationals, I mean, it's unacceptable, to say the least. However, South Africa is going to go ahead with hosting this. One would have hoped maybe it would have been held in Ghana, Ethiopia, because there's nothing African about what is going on. We are divided as a continent, and it's uncalled for, as I said. But the conference will go on. I'm not too hopeful of what will come out of it, though.
Well, South Africa is presently going through some economic challenges, and now with this xenophobic attacks, is this not going to have a significant impact on government's growth plan to set the country's economy on the right path?
Unfortunately, these attacks that we've been talking about, they are a sideshow. It's just a diversion from the core issues. There is no growth plan to speak of. There are no reforms. Hence, you see our leaders get away from the core issues. There's nothing really planned to be implemented that we can track the impact of policy. So again, I'm not too hopeful of any progress that will come up with the conference, without the conference.
Now, what do you think that the South African government has responded effectively to this present challenge of the xenophobic attacks?
We have a leadership crisis, not just in South Africa, but across Africa. Our leaders are not robust enough. They didn't come out to condemn these attacks. If that were the case, we would have arrests and condemning these attacks. I get this slight suspicion that some of these attacks are fueled by some of the reckless comments that come from our leaders.
Now, with the theme of this year's event, which is shaping inclusive growth and shared futures in the 4th Industrial Revolution, what should participants at this forum be pushing for at this time?
We should be pushing for social protection. Our women, our young women, are not protected enough. We should be looking at health, education. We want to empower the youth. Right now, as we speak at this conference, there's also a lot of youth who are speaking against the government. They want to see meaningful progress. They want to see the government actually doing what it says it's doing. So yes, we need education and training in the 4th Industrial Revolution. There's a lot of rhetoric, but we'd like to see action within those spaces so we can close the gap, in income inequality that has been growing over the past decade or so.
South African economist Trinity Nkube, thanks for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you very much.